Hi friends, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back to my series on UiPath Data Service. In our last video, we discussed about the choice sets in data service. Now in this video, we'll be discussing about the relationship field type in UiPath Data Service and how you can use it to create relationship between the two entities. So let me show you the relationship field type first and then we can move further. So let's say I'm going to this vendor master on this data service page and I'm going to create one new field, and if you say anything here, then in the type you'll see one field type, that is relationship. So we'll talk about this relationship, how we can use this and how we can create a link between, create a connection between two entities. Okay, so let's watch this video till the end, otherwise you will not able to understand. In between you learn something else and then at the end you will learn something else, but this is very important topic, you should learn it. Let's understand what is a relationship field. The relationship field type is used to create connections between two entities in UiPath data service. It allows you to establish a link between one record in one entity and another record in the different entity. For example, we have two entities, vendor master and one we can say as a product master. So we can relate each vendors to its corresponding product or the purchase orders by creating a clear relationship between the vendors and their associated data. Now let's follow the steps to create another entity so that we can link these two entities like vendor master and product master. So let's follow the steps to create another entity and then create a relationship between the vendor master and the product master entity. So we already have a vendor master which we created by using this Excel file, this, right? Now we have another Excel file for the product master, this one. So we'll be using this data to create product master. So let's click on create new entity. Now we'll be putting here product master, and here we can say store product records. Click create. Okay, so this is very simple to create an entity. Now we have product master, so let's click on this. Now we have fields, so now we need to create fields for this product master. Create new field. We'll check this checkbox because we'll have to add 4 to 5 fields here. Let's do one by one. Product ID, we can take it as a text and this is required, and then we'll click on save. Let's take another product name, take it as a type text. Now we have, you can see here, vendor ID. So let's understand first. So to create a relationship between two entities in UiPath data service, you need to use one unique identifier field, right, in the parent entity. So in the parent entity, basically your vendor master, where we already have a unique identifier as a vendor ID. That field, that vendor ID in the vendor master, that will work or act as a primary key that uniquely identifies each record in the entity. Now here in the product master, this vendor ID which we are going to refer from the vendor master, so this will be considered as a foreign key, and here we'll be choosing that, we'll be selecting that as a relationship. Now once we select the relationship, then we'll have to choose the related entity. So which entity we are going to link? So we are going to link vendor master, and then it's asking for the related entity display field. So this is the display field name. So we need to link this vendor ID. So search for the vendor ID. So the top vendor ID. So we are going to link this vendor ID which is available in this product master, will link with the vendor ID which we can say as a primary key in the vendor master entity. Okay, now click save. So this has been created. Now let's create another also. So we have category, text, click save. Now take price here, price, take here text, it's okay. Click save. And now a stock quantity, quantity if you want you can take it as a number, save. Okay, cancel this, refresh this here. And now you can see here we have product ID, product name, vendor ID as a field type relationship, category, price, stock quantity. Now let's understand this first. So you can see here we have these two entities. This one is the vendor master and this one is the product master. This is going to be linked together where vendor ID we can say as a primary key, and then this vendor ID which is from the product master is this is foreign key. Now we'll create a relationship between two entities where this vendor ID and this vendor ID, this will be linked together, and then we'll say a relationship. So relationship field type will be a vendor ID in the product master, that is child entity, and then vendor master is the parent entity. Now, so you can see the difference, like here we created a relationship here for the vendor ID. Now how we can see the changes here, like how it's going to impact in the data. So you'll see here in the data, now we are going to add new data. So let's click on add new data. P01, office chair, this is the product name, vendor ID. So vendor ID is 1001, which is going to refer the first vendor ID from the vendor master entity. So this product is associated with this vendor ID. So here we have a drop down because we have selected the field type for this vendor ID is relationship, and then you can see whatever data that we have in the vendor master entity that is showing here, and then while entering the data you have to choose that. Okay, so P01 is going to link with the 1001, this vendor. Okay, now if you think that no, this should be 102, you can change it here, right? But as per the records I have to choose 1001. This vendor basically delivering this office chair. Category we can select as a furniture, price $120, stock 50. Now create another, save and create another. Okay, so let's take one more, P02, product name, vendor ID. So vendor ID will select 1002. So if you need to add these all vendor ID, so first we should have the data added to the vendor master. So if you need to add these data, sorry, these here in the product master, then we should have the data added to the parent entity, parent table, right? Then we can refer here. Otherwise you can start adding like P03, 4, 5 like that, but you can only refer to only these two records, right? So category will be electronics 45, 150. So it says that this product ID it belongs to this vendor. This vendor is, you know, uh, delivering these products like that. Now uncheck this and click save. Okay, so now we have added the data here. Now you can see here ID, product ID P001 office chair is going to link with the 1001, that vendor ID, right? Furniture, price, stock quantity, updated by all these details which are the system built-in fields. Same way for P002 we have linked with 1002. If you want to, if you are saying no, this P02, this Bluetooth headset, this is also, this should be also linked with the first vendor 1001, because this is the supplier, this is the vendor that is going to supply this item also. If you think that Bluetooth headset and this both are related to the one vendor, then you can edit here. Now you can change that. You can select 1001. So one to many relationship like that, right? So this way you can create a relationship here. You can use the fill type relationship. You can create the relationship between the two entities. Now let's understand why this fill type useful. Relationship help you avoid duplicating data. Instead of storing vendor information of every product, you simply link the product to the vendor using a relationship field. It also helps in organizing data, as you can easily retrieve all products related to a specific vendor. As you can see here, we have linked here this vendor ID to these two product ID. So we can have multiple product ID which is linked to one vendor ID. I hope this is clear now. You understood this? I hope so. If so, then please like this video and please subscribe this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video.